Genocide, intimidation, abuse of power, and terror are the order of the day in Sierra Leone. Daily Sierra Leone citizens are faced with the horrors of being beaten, threatened, falsely accused, imprisoned, and even killed. Strong arm tactics are imposed, resulting in national disunity, unrest, and further driving the people into an impoverished state and severe hunger. Good evening. My name is Matilda Conte, the daughter of Paolo Conte. Some of you may have heard of the current situation pertaining to my father and the government of Sierra Leone. On March the 22nd, 2020, my father was detained, arrested, and subsequently sent to prison by the Sierra Leone government. On March the 16th, 2020, my father was invited to the State House by the President to join him and his team to discuss Sierra Leone's fight against the current COVID-19 pandemic. This was due to his expertise and execution of duties while serving as the CEO of the Ebola Response Unit from 2014 to 16. Even though this current administration has been on a witch hunt to defame his name, works, and assassinate his character, he agreed to be a part of the team and pledged his support for the good of the country, ensuring thousands of lives would again be saved during these tough times. On the 17th of March 2020, my father and the current health minister traveled to Lunge Airport to assess inbound and outbound passenger safety and new sanitation procedures. On the 19th of March, the day in question, my father went to the State House again to meet the President and further discuss matters. Upon his arrival, he specifically informed security that he was carrying a bag which contained a licensed firearm. Even though my father asked security to hold his bag because he is fully aware of State House protocol, security refused to take the bag and told him to keep it. However, my dad in turn refused to take his bag into the meeting with the President and left it at the security entrance. The overall reason why my father carries his firearm is because he was never provided a security detail even after serving in office 2 separate times as Minister of Defense. Once upstairs, inside the waiting room and waiting to speak to the President, the head of security arrived 45 minutes later and asked, "Whose bag is this?" My father responded that it was his and was immediately questioned by CID, then sent home. At no time was my father intercepted or tackled over his weapon. He properly declared the weapon and left it at the security station downstairs and waited to attend the meeting. The following day, CID went to my father's house and invited him to their office for further questioning. However, upon arrival, he was immediately arrested. Less than 48 hours later, he was transferred to Bedemba Prison, one of Sierra Leone's most notorious and dangerous prisons. He was imprisoned without any formal charges of a crime, which is a violation of his human rights. Article 9, no one should be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. 10 days later, he was finally charged with treason and a myriad of other charges, totaling 16 counts. All of these charges are bogus, contradict each other, and are just baseless accusations. Many, if not all, government buildings have CCTV for foolproof coverage to deter and prevent crime and keep their employees honest. The government's prosecution team has refused to produce the CCTV footage which may hold key evidence as to what transpired on that day between my dad and security. They are attempting to build a case on evidence they refuse to share or produce. My father's defense team has demanded this video footage. Initially, when asked for the video footage, the SLPP government stated there was a power outage at the time the incident took place, which proved to be a lie. Now they are stating national security issues. All of these excuses are bogus and proved to their lack of integrity, unwillingness to get to the truth, and inability for my father to have a fair trial. For the past month, my father has been in solitary confinement, being denied access to clothing, books, proper food, all common facilities, and denied family visitation. The toilet in his cell continuously backs up and overflows with his own feces and sewage from the prison. During the Easter holiday, he was forced by authorities to remain in his cell and sleep with an overflowing toilet that drenched his mattress and pillow, even though there were open cells in that unit. This is another violation of his human rights. Article 15, freedom from torture, cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment or punishment. My father has sacrificed and served the great country of Sierra Leone that he loves faithfully for over 25 years. He was in the Sierra Leone Army from 1976 to 1992 and obtained the rank of Major. He later served as Minister of Defense for Sierra Leone in 2007 to 2014 under the APC government, then went on to be the CEO of the Ebola Response Unit, Ebola ZAR, from 2014 to 16. He later was appointed as Minister of Internal Affairs in 2016 and once again Minister of Defense until the elections in 2018. So as you can see, my father's arrest is highly political. This is the second time in the past 15 months that the government has arrested and detained my father for no just cause, but only to harass, degrade, embarrass, and inconvenience him in an attempt to intimidate him and his political party. My father graciously agreed to work with this administration to instill some sense of harmony and initiate a bipartisan effort. He does not deserve such continuous harassment. This man has saved thousands of lives in Sierra Leone and defended many that had no voice while practicing law in London. On the 29th of April 2020, just 6 days ago, the SLPP government staged a prison fire and riot in hopes of killing my father and other political prisoners. This attempt was unsuccessful, but unfortunately, approximately 48 innocent prisoners and guards were shot and killed in the process. Later that same day, the government arrested my father's wife. She has been languishing in jail for a week without any formal charge. Dr. Silver Blyden, a well-known activist and journalist, was also arrested in an attempt to silence her. Since the riot, the state has refused to give my family or the lawyers access to my father or even his location. While governments around the world are protecting their people against COVID-19, the SLPP government is using this as a tool to infringe on people's rights, freedom of speech, imprison whomever they want, and ultimately prolong my father's case. My father is my superhero and a hero to many. He is also my first love, a pillar to my family and the community. Alfred Palo Conte is an asset to not just our society, but also to the world. A well-educated man who would never jeopardize his legacy and all he has worked hard to attain. We are calling for the immediate release of Palo Conte, Savi Sano, Prince Hughes, Isata Sankor, and finally Dr. Silver Blyden. Please go on change.org, type Palo Conte, then sign and share the petition. In the words of Martin Luther King, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Thank you, and stay safe.